Hey guys, this is the first video of a hopeful longer list of videos that I hope to create over the next 8 to 10 months of this wonderful journey. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Barden. I've been a teacher for the past 10 years. I've taught high school as well as 7th grade in Kansas. After a brief stint in Kansas, spending 2 years teaching middle school to some of the most amazing students out there, I moved back to Phoenix, Arizona, and I decided to take a year off of work. So what that looks like, it's called a gap year, and I am kind of pursuing everything that I've always wanted to do. This one simple thing about me is I'm obsessed with travel. I save up all year long so I can go on vacation. And this year I have saved up several $1,000s so that I can do just that. So starting here in October, I'm going to be heading off to first Maui, then in November I'm going to be going to Thailand, and then starting in late December, hopefully, or at least in early January, I'm going to be going for a backpacking tour of Southeast Asia, which probably is going to include, once again, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and a lot of those other amazing southeastern countries. And the joy of all that is it is relatively cheap to travel to those places, and you know me, I love cheap. So things are going to be from the ground. You're not going to see a whole bunch of stuff from the air, you know, no drone footage or anything like that. I'm pretty basic with a lot of things. But in inclusion with all of the travels and everything like that, I'm going to include some mental health. This year I've also decided, because I've always wanted to do this, I am writing a book. And that book is titled Build Your Arsenal. And it's a whole mashup of everything I've learned over the last 16, 17 years of battling my own depression in my own life. And the result of that has been this kind of buildup, or this arsenal that has maintained a very strong foundation that gives me this ability to kind of fight back with it. Because for me, my depression has never gone away. I know for a lot of people, they're like, oh, it can go away, you can do this, you can do that. But for me, it just never has. It always comes back, and it's something that has been a part of my life. And the more that I trained for it, the more I realized that it doesn't hurt as much, or it doesn't affect me as much. Because I've started to do some things very standard in my life, and that foundation has been very strong. I liken it to training for like a marathon or something like that. And so in my life, I do run marathons. I've done half marathons, I've done marathons, and I've done some triathlons in my life. And there are times that I've trained for them. You know, I trained heavily for my marathon, but there are times where I just got lazy and stuff like that, and I ran a half marathon with zero training. Now, I can tell you one thing. When you run a marathon with zero training, it's gonna hurt. And it does hurt. And it's the same thing with life. If we don't do a lot of the things on a day-to-day basis, we are going to find ourselves in a whole lot more hurt than if we trained for it, or if we just showed up on the day and we did the race. And so what I'm writing about are all the little things, the whole conglomerate of bunch of different research from a whole bunch of different authors. In it is going to have other authors and other books that I highly recommend that you guys read, because those are the foundations that have built in me a better mindset, belief, faith. They've improved my ability to exercise, as well as my nutrition and health that goes along with it. And then of course, with everything, we need to have the understanding of what our social and our communities are going to look like, and how those can be a great support for us as well. So the book is going to include a whole bunch of personal stories. Some of them you'll actually see, because I'm going to put them in, because some of them are better seen to the eyes of somebody who actually tells them. If you've been in my classroom before, you know how much I love telling stories. And so with the travel as well as this mental health component, that's what this channel is going to be about. For me, I've always wanted to travel, and it's always been something that has hurt me mentally, because every single year as a teacher I just haven't been able to afford it. But taking this gap year has been almost revolutionary for me, and it hasn't even really begun yet. Just simply put into it, I've saved up enough money, and I'm going to do some of the things that I always said I was going to do. So if you were one of my 7th grade geography students, you are going to see the places that we showed you. And so I'm going to be taking this camera right here. It's not a great camera, but it's going to work because it has to. and then I've got a GoPro, and so everything's going to be from the ground view. You're not going to see any aerial footage or anything like that. It's just from boots on the ground kind of perspective. The other thing is as of right now, all of these trips are solo, which means I'm going by myself. I've got no one else going with me. And so you're gonna meet some people hopefully along the way because I'm super outgoing. I plan on meeting people along the way and telling their stories as well. I'm gonna dive in deep with these people. If any of them are dealing with mental health or anything like that, of course I'm going to interview them and we're gonna have talks, because the best part about all of this is that. I wanted to create kind of an online-based community that has the ability to talk openly about mental health and how we process it. And so you're going to see a lot of my stories on this channel and hopefully a lot of other people's stories. Start following me on Instagram. It's CJ Barden and then the number 3. Feel free to add me. All of the daily content and stuff like that, I'm going to be posting a ton of pictures, especially when I'm in Thailand or Southeast Asia. And then in April, I'm going to Italy and Greece. And if you've been in my classroom before for world history, you understand that that is going to be one of the most fantastic trips for me ever. Largely due to the fact that those two cultures are my favorite to talk about. And now I'm going to be boots on the ground, experiencing them hands-on, where the Romans were, going into the Colosseum. And I hope you guys are able to join me along this journey. So if you would, please subscribe. That would be fantastic. Comment on different things below. And then if there's anything that you think like I should be doing, like if you look up some things like, hey, this is something you need to do, write those in the comment sections and stuff like that. I know I'm super excited to go to Thailand. I've already got a ton of stuff booked out there for you guys to kind of experience along with me. But again, the main focus of this is travel with mental health. And that is my main goal, is to get young people the courage to start talking about it. Because I know every time I brought it up in the classroom, the room goes quiet. And that type of mentality just shows me how important it is to kind of build out this thing within us that is talking about mental health in a very healthy and constructive manner. By the end of this year, my goal is also to have the book finished. It is taking me months to kind of get into and write. I'm about halfway done, but a big component of it is this side of actually doing what you love and seeing how much that is actually kind of impacting my own mental health. And so it's not going to be done until the end of the year, but I am so excited to kind of bring those to you, and I'm going to put some of those stories in here because I want you guys to hear them before they ever enter into the book or you ever get your hands on that. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, because for the most part, I thrive off making things better. I want to make this the best experience for those of you guys who are going to be watching, because you know how much I love my students. A lot of them now are full-on adults, and some of you guys, if you are part of the Blue Valley crew, you guys are now in 8th or 9th grade. So miss you guys a ton, but you are the first subscribers I know, and you guys have been waiting for this video, so here it is. And this is the journey that I'm going to be taking you guys on over the next several months. So stay tuned. Amazing things are coming together. Love you guys. Have a great day.